The MiG-29 Fulcrum is one of the most iconic fourth-generation jet fighters ever created by the Soviet Union. Designed during the Cold War to counter American aircraft like the F-15 and F-16, it became a symbol of Soviet air power and has since been operated by dozens of countries. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the origins, capabilities, design features, combat history, variants, and legacy of this agile and powerful multirole fighter. The MiG-29's development began in the 1970s, as the Soviet Union sought a lightweight frontline fighter that could rival or exceed the performance of new Western jets. Intelligence reports about the development of the F-16 Fighting Falcon and the F-A-18 Hornet had alarmed Soviet military planners. While heavier aircraft like the Su-27 were also in the works, the Soviet Air Force needed a smaller, more affordable complement that could be produced in large numbers and deployed to forward bases close to potential NATO battlefields. The Mikoyan Design Bureau, famous for fighters like the MiG-15, MiG-21, and MiG-25, was tasked with the creation of this new air superiority fighter. The result was the MiG-29, codenamed Fulcrum by NATO, a sleek twin-engine aircraft that combined speed, maneuverability, and versatility in a compact package. The aircraft made its first flight in 1977 and entered service in 1982. From the beginning, the MiG-29 was designed to operate in rugged conditions and from short, austere runways. It was also meant to be relatively easy to maintain in the field. Its rugged landing gear, intake protectors, and built-in ladder emphasized field usability. It could take off from unprepared runways, a major requirement in Soviet doctrine that envisioned rapid forward deployment during wartime. In terms of design, the MiG-29 features a blended wing body layout with large leading-edge root extensions, which allow it to maintain high angles of attack and excellent agility in close combat. It is powered by two Klimov RD-33 turbofan engines, which provide high thrust-to-weight ratio and enable it to reach a maximum speed of Mach 2.25 at altitude. The aircraft's internal fuel capacity is limited, which does constrain its range. This has often been cited as a weakness, but it can carry external fuel tanks and has air-to-air refueling capability in later variants. The cockpit of the early MiG-29s is functional but not especially advanced by Western standards of the 1980s. It features analog instruments, a basic head-up display, and no HOTAS hands-on throttle and stick controls in the original versions. The pilot workload is higher than in comparable Western aircraft, and the situational awareness is more limited. However, the MiG-29 was equipped with some cutting-edge systems for its time. One of the most notable is its helmet-mounted sight, which allows the pilot to cue infrared-guided missiles like the R-73 AA-11 Archer simply by looking at the target. This feature gave the MiG-29 a significant advantage in dogfighting scenarios, and Western Air Forces quickly sought to develop similar systems after encountering it. The aircraft is also equipped with the Phasotron N019 slot-back radar, capable of tracking multiple targets and engaging two simultaneously. It isn't as powerful or long-ranged as the AN/APG-63 radar on the F-15, but it is sufficient for medium-range engagements. Along with the radar, the MiG-29 also includes an infrared search and track (IRST) system, allowing passive detection of enemy aircraft without revealing its own position with radar emissions. The MiG-29 was designed primarily as an air superiority fighter, but it also has secondary ground attack capabilities. It can carry bombs, rockets, and air-to-ground missiles, making it a versatile multirole platform, particularly in its upgraded variants. The Fulcrum's agility is one of its strongest features. Thanks to its aerodynamic design, high thrust-to-weight ratio, and advanced flight control surfaces, the MiG-29 can perform high-G maneuvers, tight turns, and rapid changes in direction. In dogfight scenarios, especially at visual range, it has proven to be a formidable opponent. Despite these strengths, the MiG-29 has several limitations. One of the most discussed is its relatively short combat radius. Without external fuel tanks or air-to-air refueling, its operational range is limited compared to fighters like the F-15 or Su-27. The early versions also had limited avionics, high maintenance requirements for the RD-33 engines, and lower pilot situational awareness compared to Western counterparts. However, these shortcomings were gradually addressed in later variants. The MiG-29 has seen combat service in numerous conflicts around the world. One of its earliest major operational uses was during the Gulf War in 1991, where Iraqi MiG-29s engaged U.S. and coalition aircraft. However, the Iraqi Air Force was generally overwhelmed, and several MiG-29s were shot down. Similar outcomes occurred in conflicts in the Balkans during the 1990s, where MiG-29s flown by Serbian pilots went up against NATO aircraft with limited success. These poor performances were often the result of poor maintenance, lack of pilot training, or facing technologically superior opponents in unfavorable conditions, rather than inherent flaws in the aircraft itself. Other nations have used the MiG-29 more effectively. India, for instance, has operated the MiG-29 since the 1980s and used it effectively during the Kargil War in 1999. Indian Air Force MiG-29s have been upgraded with modern avionics, radar systems, and improved weapons, and remain a key part of India's air defense. Over time, the MiG-29 has been updated into numerous variants. The MiG-29S introduced improved avionics and weapons, including the ability to carry more fuel and the R-77 AA-12 ATR active radar missile, giving it beyond visual range capability. The MiG-29 SMT and MiG-29 UPG further upgraded avionics, radar, cockpit ergonomics, and added air-to-air refueling. The most advanced versions include the MiG-29M, MiG-29K carrier-based version, and the MiG-35, a significantly modernized version with AESA radar, glass cockpit, advanced ECM, and improved engines. The MiG-29K, used by the Indian Navy and Russian Navy, is specially modified for carrier operations with strengthened landing gear, tailhook, folding wings, and improved corrosion resistance. It is designed to operate from carriers like the INS Vikramaditya and Russia's Admiral Kuznetsov. The latest generation MiG-29, the MiG-35, is sometimes considered a 4++ generation aircraft. It features Zhukmi AESA radar, advanced IRST, modern avionics, fly-by-wire system, reduced radar cross-section, and compatibility with a wide range of modern weapons. Though it's intended to compete with other modern fighters in the export market, its sales have been limited. One of the unique strengths of the MiG-29 is its wide international adoption. Over 30 countries have operated the type at some point. Countries like India, Poland, Slovakia, Ukraine, Egypt, Algeria, and North Korea have all used MiG-29s. Some of these air forces have extensively modernized the aircraft, while others have retired or are phasing them out. Interestingly, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, some NATO countries inherited MiG-29s, like Germany and Poland, and used them for years before replacing them with Western jets. The aircraft also became notable for its public air show performances. Pilots flying the MiG-29 have demonstrated the aircraft's supermaneuverability, high angle of attack capabilities, and dramatic thrust vectoring-like behavior, even though it doesn't have thrust vectoring in most variants. Some maneuvers, like the tail slide and the Cobra, became associated with MiG and Sukhoi fighters, dazzling audiences and showcasing Russian aerodynamic engineering. While newer aircraft like the Su-35, Su-57, and various Western jets have surpassed the MiG-29 in terms of stealth, radar, weapons, and range, the Fulcrum remains a capable platform. For many countries, especially those with limited defense budgets, the MiG-29 provides a cost-effective fighter with respectable performance and proven combat credentials. Upgrades can keep it relevant into the 2030s. One of the challenges facing the MiG-29 today is logistics and maintenance. The RD-33 engines, while powerful, have shorter service lives and require more maintenance than modern engines. Spare parts availability is also an issue in some countries. Furthermore, integration with modern Western avionics, weapons, and communication systems can be difficult without extensive modifications. The MiG-29's legacy is immense. It marked a turning point in Soviet aircraft design, bridging the gap between earlier third-generation fighters like the MiG-23 and more advanced platforms like the Su-27 and MiG-35. It introduced several innovative features ahead of its time, such as the helmet-mounted sight and IRST, and it forced NATO to rethink their own dogfighting tactics and systems. Even today, it remains a feared dogfighter. Pilots who have flown the MiG-29 praise its handling and responsiveness, especially at low speeds and in close quarters engagements. Its combination of speed, agility, and raw power makes it an aircraft that demands respect in the air, even if it now faces challenges in terms of sensors and network-centric warfare. As modern air combat continues to evolve with the rise of stealth, drones, and artificial intelligence, aircraft like the MiG-29 may seem increasingly outdated. But its adaptability, proven combat service, and continuous upgrades have kept it alive in the 21st century. Whether in upgraded form like the MiG-35 or serving as a workhorse in developing air forces, the Fulcrum still flies, and still fights. So, whether you see it as a relic of the Cold War or a rugged fighter that continues to earn its wings in a changing world, the MiG-29 Fulcrum remains one of the most important and influential fighters of the late 20th century. It was built with a clear purpose: win the skies. And in many ways, it succeeded.